residential, very, very design, build, focused projects where we come in at the very beginning, you tell us your dream, and we make that happen. That you would find on our website, mostly focused on the visual, because that's what it is for that. Our other target market in the commercial end is more so build outs, so businesses starting up, empty boxes and we turn them into something, or we renovate a room into something new or a new use for, say, like a government entity or whatever. So our target market has been light commercial, which is renovations, build outs and restorations, and then on the residential end, it's been higher end residential.
So I heard of Cecily Construction, and I'm like, okay, who is this guy? And I see him, give you a call on the phone, walk me through the process. What's the next thing I need to do?
Well, the first thing I find out is what is your desire? What do you need? What is the construction project? Once we find that out, we start the process of, I like to get to the essence of what the nuts and bolts of the project. Who's paying for it, whether it be you or the bank? What's your time frame? Is it realistic? And a lot of the process for us in the sale is really just education and communication. I need to tell you about how the construction process works typically in a residential mind frame. In a commercial, they lay it out for you. But yeah, it's just been a process of communicating and getting to the point of what are we doing.
Okay, Halima, phone's ringing, I'm calling. Heard your name out there. What's the process?
The first thing I'll want to know is some details about your project. What type of project is it? We focus primarily on commercial. So in a lot of cases, if someone has a residential project, we're going to refer them to someone else. But we have done some residential for, let's say, a professor. If we completed their office, they want a home office. We've been able to duplicate something on that scale. But we're doing we would find out as much as we can about the project, what your budget is, what type of goals you have to meet. If you do have a lead goal or lead credit certification that you have to meet, we're looking at those products that are going to help you meet that goal. So we're going to get into the nuts and bolts of functionality. What is the space being used for? And then start to talk about the products that will best meet those functions that we would have available. Then the services. Do you need us to do everything from the space planning to the install? And then we'll complete those things as needed.
Good, excellent. Now, obviously, Columbus is rich in business opportunities, one of the best places to do business. I mean, I could give you statistics all day long.
Yes.
How have you helped play a role in growing Columbus?
Okay. Well, at the ground level, we're employing people. I mean, that's the base level of it. Then you can look at some of the projects around Columbus we've worked on, from Ameriflora to the building of, say, like a New Covenant Believers Church as the construction management team, or working for most of the church entities within the city. So we look at the different projects we've worked on and the size of the city, and there's not a place you can go where you can't see something we worked on or done. So.
Okay, good. Have you helped build this great city we call Columbus?
Absolutely. Again, it's going to be in the form of employment. We're definitely partnering with other businesses, small businesses, larger businesses. Completed the Turner construction courses last year. And so, again, allowing us the opportunity to work with other businesses out there, whether it's as a sub, whether we're hiring someone as a sub to work with us. Definitely bringing employment opportunities to the city.
That's what we like to hear.
Yes.
Supports the tax base and everything, so we appreciate
It's a great
that.
thing.
Let's talk a little bit about joint ventures and partnerships again. I mean, do you see that as valuable? Do you see that as part of your path to the future? Let's go back over here to Halima.
I feel it's extremely valuable. We're partnering with people in terms of whether it's products, services, employing more people. I think it's just a matter of working together and finding out what you lend to the table that the other person needs. And we all have very many resources and different resources within our companies. We have found it a valuable thing to do in terms of partnering with others.
Okay.
I agree 100%. It is the way to growth. Essentially, a relationship-based approach to partnering at all levels. We partner with the customer, we partner with subcontractors, we partner up with primes, we partner with people at our same peer base. So yeah, we approach every project with that, where is the partnership, where is the win-win, and meeting the need.
And I've seen when you form partnerships, sometimes there can be a challenge in the partnership. So how do you kind of keep that, for lack of a better term, clean? So you do your part, they do theirs, and everyone gets paid, and the project is completed and on time?
I always keep in the back of my mind the concepts that my father taught me working within. So we're ethical. We are extremely transparent. We never avoid the conversation about what's the topic, what really needs to be said. So with that said, it makes it easier to develop trust that is needed for a partnership. The track record always helps, having the experience of doing this and it working out well for everybody. And I always like to lay on the table, here is the process from point A to point B. What do you want to do in there? Because something in there gets paid along the way, and a product gets delivered. And so whatever you do, everybody gets fairly compensated for. So we try to be extremely transparent in the process, and it's worked well for us.
What about your company?
I would agree that on those things, but I think communication, transparency is key too. We've also entered teaming agreements. We do have joint venture opportunities as well. So, and again, those are contractual. So everything's kind of written down, what we're going to do, what their responsibilities would be, et cetera. And so that's helped in those cases where it's needed to make sure that all parties understand their responsibilities and that those responsibilities are completed according to that agreement.
Great point.
So you see that as a key part of your business model, though, going forward?
Absolutely.
Okay, great.
We grow together.
Yes.
I like that. We grow together.
We grow together.
That's how it works.
Again, as we look at giving new entrepreneurs some more advice, because I think that's key.
Sure.
More and more, I'd say high school and even college kids, they're coming out and they're saying, we're going to start a business because the job market is still tight. So I'm coming straight out of college. What would you tell that entrepreneur?
Well, tell them the things I had to break out of my own head. You do not know it all.
Yes.
Seek mentors, seek guidance. Find somebody who's done this. You're not reinventing the wheel. You may be adding something onto it, but find someone who's done it, get mentorship, get up every day early and work hard and work late and stay creative. In an entrepreneurial mind frame, it takes a lot of creativity and a lot of drive, and then keep your ethics along the way. Because creative can turn into a less, a less positive approach. So you stay creative, but you stay focused, and you set goals and you go for them. And yeah.
Great model.
Yep.
I would definitely say that you definitely want a mentor, but there's times where you'll need multiple mentors. You might need a mentor from different aspects of what you're trying to accomplish, and meet with them. Talk to them regularly. It doesn't have to be every day, but every so often, just try to come back to the table and make sure that you're going in the direction you want to go in. And then I'd also say remain focused. He's right, you don't know everything. Learn as much as you can, learn more, stay open to that, and definitely, yes, stay creative and positive.
Okay, wonderful. Let's talk about doing business with the city. Well, government in general to start with. Aren't you doing some business with the federal government and perhaps the state, and working on doing something with the city? Give us a little.
Sure. The majority of what I do is government work. So whether it's federal level, and that be Army, Air Force, those type of projects. We do a lot with the Department of Veteran Affairs. It's important to me as a veteran to do what I can to help those facilities that our veterans are being treated in. So I can put a personal touch in some of the work that I do. We're doing things on the state level. And then we're also working on opportunities in the city level as well.
Okay, and you are certified with the city, so we appreciate that. And you're working hard.
Yes, sir.
Anything to add to what you just said?
At the city level, we are at any of the government levels. We've just started to tap into that market. We have an existing customer base, and it is providing for us. But that's how our conversation actually started, and me saying, well, let's reach into a new market.
Sure.
So yeah, we are eager to get into that market, the city base.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And it's a market to grow, so your company can grow. I noticed you had some company come with you today, which brought a question in my mind.
Yeah.
How do you transition generationally? What's the word?
Generational.
Generationally.
Yep.
From one generation to the next. How do you do that?
For me, and it's probably the same for my daughter, who's here today somewhere out there, is I was there watching the business happen.
Okay.
And it creates it puts something in you, a bug for working for yourself, an entrepreneurial spirit. And it's in all of us, at this point, So
it's just
you expose them to that entrepreneurship.
How do you feel about that? Do you feel business will be passed down and all that?
I do feel that. I see in my child a definite entrepreneurial spirit that has transgressed his way, whether he knows it or not. But I do see it, and it's funny because you don't think about these things when you're doing them, but it's definitely an influence, and it's something that there's times there you probably think you can get away from it, but as you grow with that spirit inside of you.
Okay, good. Now, as far as your company, looking at your vision 5 years down the road, what do you see?
Well, I see a continual growth. I see the opportunity to do things on a scale a little bit grander than we've done in the past. I see definitely more employment opportunities, a continued focus in sustainability and helping all of our environments that we're in, because if you're working in an environment, if you're sick in an environment, if you're learning in an environment, it needs to be an environment that is healthy. And so just keeping that in mind and knowing that when someone walks into a public space, it's public, but it needs to be for all people. And so to have a hand in that means a lot.
Okay. What's your vision 5 years down the road?
5 years down the road. Wow, it's a great one. Well, I see us still on the path that we're on. We look at our existing customer base and we want to maintain it. We grow from there, so our base of customers continues to grow. We put a really strong emphasis on, in the transition from mom and pop into what it is today, on systems, and because construction is a very system-based process. So I see us continuing to develop those systems, put them in place, try them, to perfect them, add more. And that's been the growth of our company and doubling our growth, say, every year for the last 4. It's just take what we have. And it has been a powerful experience, I didn't know how well the people that already work for us were until I said, I'm not looking to go outside of us anymore for a while, and said, let's just focus on what we have. And we've focused on, and I think we'll continue to focus on for the next 5 years, keeping those people with us that are with us, putting in the pieces that help in that process, and growing and trying to grow every year, and employing and putting beautiful things on the ground. You love, as a construction person, it's probably the same even in your industry.
Absolutely.
You like to go somewhere and look at something you did, and you like to take your kids and family, and it's a bragging thing or whatever, But I see us doing more of that, and I look forward to it.
Okay. Now, I know we're running almost out of time here. Do you have any final great tips for the viewers out there about your company? You want to leave them any final information?
Yeah. Tips. Well, if you have a building, whether it be residential, commercial, or business, we can provide a value there, whether it be from maintenance and repair to building something new or changing an office or whatever it may be. If you have a commercial or residential property, there is a construction need there at some point, and please consider us. And we like to develop a relationship there.
And how would someone be able to get a hold of you?
Well, you could contact us on my phone number, which is 614-808-5831, or you can look on our website, www.cecillyconstruction.com. So there's various ways. Or you could email me at bob@cecillyconstruction.
Okay.
So
People can find you.
you can find me. Please do.
Again, Halima, what's your company name and how can someone get a hold of you, and that final tip?
Green Office Furniture Solutions. You can reach us at 614-452-7222. We also have a website, www.gofsllc.com. And one of the final tips, there's exciting things actually coming in furniture as technology is being integrated. We can help you with any of your projects, be it beginning to end, growth or downsize. We can help with those.
Okay. Wonderful. I think we're about out of time, but let me see, one other question. The finances. Again, that's always a challenge for a lot of businesses. What do you have to do to overcome some of those hurdles? Because I got a call yesterday on that.
Yeah.
Mr. Stevens, who do I call? Where do I go? Because it's still kind of tough. Get that in there real quick.
Real quick, you have to start with what is the situation for my company, and because you're small, if you are small, it's personally and your company. So you got to put it out there, say what it is. Then you have to create a disciplined plan to get that on track for whatever it may be, credit, creating assets, debt income ratio, whatever the issues may be. And then you have to continue to develop